my grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we got a great show for you this evening. We have one of the top investigative journalists in the game, the one and only Steve Baker. I said Steve the Baker. Do you bake, Steve? Have you ever baked?
I have, actually.
And I know you're a musician, but how would you rank your baking skills compared to your musical skills?
About 3% of my investigative journalism skills.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wait, are you a better investigative journalist than you are a musician?
You know what? You're the first person to ever put me to that test. And I think I can answer, even on the spot, I think I can answer accurately and tell you that I managed to survive over 40 years paying my bills as a half-assed musician. And I'm loving what I'm doing now. So.
Well, that's not an answer. What is better, because you did 40 years. I know you opened up for a lot of famous people, went on the road, but I mean, where have you made more money? How about that?
Oh God, no! In music,
okay. Well, then you're a better musician, right? And that, I mean, okay.
No, look, you can baffle them, you know, with your bullshit, as they say. You can dazzle them with your brilliance. You can baffle them with your bullshit. You can do that in music, and you can do that in journalism. The thing is about working for the Blaze is everything I do goes through several layers of editors and then to legal, so I don't get by with that here.
That is true. We can't BS here at the Blaze. We do have a team of lawyers that are on us, very strictly. But before we get into our team of lawyers, guys, you might need them if you're drinking a lot of this stuff. Some bourbons chase trends. Flying Ace chases legacy. This is straight bourbon the way it was meant to be. Bold, balanced, and unapologetically American. No gimmicks, no fluff, just real whiskey made for people who still believe in hard work, high standards, and doing things the right way. Whether you're winding down after a long day or raising a glass with good company, Flying Ace delivers every single time. It's not about hype, guys. It's about heritage and getting back to what bourbon was always supposed to be. If that sounds like you're kind of poor, it's time to level up. Buy online at flyingacespirits.com. Use the code BLAZE for free shipping. Flyingacespirits.com or flyingacespirits.com. Use the promo code BLAZE, free shipping. All right, now our next guest, Steve. What do you know? Have you ever heard of the term Gematria?
Gematria?
Gematria.
Man, this is two questions in a row that
this is the blend. This is a hard question.
Right. No, I'm clueless.
Well, Gematria is actually, before I even explain what Gematria is, let me bring on an expert who is, like I said, on YouTube. His channel is great. If you're not following Doenut, you're really missing out on some really, really incredible content. But this guy is an expert in decoding the hidden meaning that the elites are using to kind of laugh at us, to kind of rub it in our face, And basically, it's kind of the idea that this is almost like a scripted play in a way. And I know that might sound crazy, but let's hear Doenut out because I think he makes a lot of sense. So let's welcome on my friend, the one, the only, Doenut. Look at that cat life! That's how
Yo, what up? It's Doenut.
Yes.
What's up?
Doenut, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're a very busy man. Your channel's freaking blowing up. If you guys are in the chat right now and you do not subscribe to Doenut, you're missing out. I really encourage everybody to go subscribe right now. Now, Doenut, this week has been crazy. You've been talking about this for a long time. I think you even predicted on, did you say the blood moon? What was your prediction? Everything that's happening right now, basically you predicted that. Is that a correct assessment?
Well, yeah, on my channel, we investigate the Illuminati news, the occult, cults, mystery cults, all the above, and numerology and whatnot. And these ritual sacrifices, if that's what it is, seems to have a pattern. And I'm not the one who came up with this. There's like a ton of people that look into this stuff. It's a niche field, but there's books written about it like Hollywood Babylon. Why do we have all these famous people drowning? Whitney Houston, Jim Morrison, Aaron Carter, the list goes on in a bathtub. It just over and over again. And about 2 weeks ago, I predicted a big celebrity sacrifice to take place. I was 2 weeks late, but it happened in July. It usually happens on these full moons or eclipses. Like that one guy, Matthew Perry, who also supposedly maybe drowned
in a hot tub. Very weird. That was very weird. Okay.
So we study these Fortean phenomenons and investigate this strange mystery of the world and is it connected? And this happened on a new moon with Hulk Hogan. So first off, rest in peace to the legend, Ozzy, Hulk Hogan.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, who's a legend, who died, I mean, he supposedly drowned, but the guy has been famous since he was about 15 years old on The Cosby Show. I'd imagine that he probably knew how to swim. I mean, you don't go on vacation to Costa Rica unless you probably have, basic swimming skills. So that's kind of weird that, that he died swimming. But so Malcolm Jamal Warner died, who actually gave Adam Sandler his first break. A lot of people don't realize Adam Sandler's first sitcom role was on The Cosby Show, which is just, there's a lot of weird connections.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Happy Gilmore, too, about to drop tomorrow.
It dropped tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. So they were interviewing Adam Sandler. The day that they premiered it was the day Malcolm Jamal Warner died. And a lot of people didn't realize that was the first TV show that
I bet you
Adam Sandler
Adam's connected to this because Little Nicky, Popeye's chicken's awesome. Ozzy was in that. And also Chef from South Park, wasn't he in it? Isaac Hayes?
Yes.
And
Wait.
all in the news.
This is crazy. We're talking about Little Nicky, the satanic thing, and Ozzy Osbourne was Satan in that movie, basically. He was like the Prince of Darkness or whatever. He was, and then Ozzy Osbourne died. So what the hell? That is kind of weird. Steve, are we smoking weed or what? Is this weird that there's all these connections, or are we connecting dots that don't connect in your opinion?
We haven't finished the connection.
No, we haven't.
Because you've got to connect Chuck Mangione, who just passed away a couple of days ago. And of course, there's the rumor out there that his grandson was Luigi Mangione, the CEO killer.
Wait, but that's spelled different. You're trolling. He's trolling us. Yeah, I can see his laugh. He's goofing. He's goofing. But that would have been crazy if that was
is spelled the same. Mangione.
Is it spelled the same?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Well, shoot, maybe there is a connection. They could be cousins.
No, I'm still making it up.
Okay, well, listen.
No, I think there could be something there.
They have the same last name. They have the same last
name. There's something going on with all the CEOs. You know what I mean? You got the CEOs being exposed on camera at the Coldplay concert, and then that guy, the CEO, he whacked them. But so numbers is another thing that we look into. You were bringing up the Gematria, which is the numerical value of things. So if we go back to these ancient mystery cults, each name like Mithra or Braxis equals a certain numerical value of 365. So this is all just stuff that's written in these esoteric texts and whatnot. Now, this is what's strange about what just happened with the 201 number. And just to add on top of the guy who just passed away, part of King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, their house is address is 322, which is kind of weird.
That is weird because that number. Are you familiar with the number 322?
322.
The Freemasons is all about. That's a very important. That's a very occultic number. What is the 322? The symbolism of that again? That's the date they were founded.
The skull and bones, the bushes, and
that's their number. 322. The skull and bones, But I know all this sounds crazy for the people that can't tie this together. We're saying a lot of wild stuff, but it actually kind of does make sense. So when you let's put the full screen of the first graphic, the 201 graphic. So every word has a numerical value, and there's actually different gematria tools. So some words and different versions of gematria have different numbers, but you can connect these weird. Do you have the full screen 3 and 4? Let's show that. So Hulk Hogan's name is 71. Ozzy Osbourne's name equals 76.
Well, no, those are their ages. So Hulk Hogan, yeah. So this is the 201.
Well, you get mixed up. Okay, so the
201. The guy on the right, Malcolm, dies on the 201 day, July 20th, and we were able to predict stuff. The largest outage of world history happened last year on the 201 day. You got like an event 201 or the new AI detachment 201. What is it up with this number? This is crazy, right? So the 201 rituals, Malcolm passes away on July 20th, the 201 day of the year. He's famous from The Cosby Show, which has 201 episodes. He wrote a book and published it the day Event 201 took place. And then Ozzy Osbourne, his name in Gematria, the numerical value is 201. So Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, and Malcolm all their ages, you add it up, it equals 201. What's going on here? This is either schizophrenia or this could be some sort of ritual.
Well, it is very weird. And then now pull up my computer screen real quick. I thought this is very odd, and I want to get Steve's opinion on this. If you can see when my computer screen comes up, guess what today happens to be, Steve? It happens to be the 10-year anniversary of when Hulk Hogan got in trouble and the tapes released where he said the N-word. So the biggest humiliation that he ever faced in his entire life, this thing that everybody on Black Twitter is, basically ruining him for, was his biggest humiliation that he ever faced. I find it very peculiar that he happens to die exactly 10 years to the anniversary of that. I mean, what are the chances? I guess 1 in 362?
Yeah, but what, 65, 4?
Whatever,
Anyway,
how many?
is that the biggest humiliation of his career, not the sex tape? That
I would say the sex tape he won against Deadspin and Gawker and made over $100 million from that.
Well, okay, that was a net positive.
I think so. I mean, it was humiliating. His wiener was on. But if you ever saw the tape, he got laid. And if you ever saw the tape, it was shot from above. He didn't really get it. It wasn't that. You couldn't really see much. You know what I mean?
You didn't see him.
You never seen the tape?
I never saw it.
You never really see it. You kind of see the shadow of a penis, but you never actually see the penis.
Well, if you see the shadow of it, that's got to be impressive, right?
Well, actually, he's kind of Hulk Hogan is known for not being that well endowed. He was actually, yeah. He was,
well, the steroids.
Do you think that he had penile atrophy from steroid use, Doenut?
No,
I
I think that's all fake news. I'm sure it was huge. Like this is Hulk Hogan we're talking about.
The Hulkster. Okay, so where does Hogan fit into this? He was just at the RNC too, and right after the RNC, a bunch of weird stuff. There's a lot of people talking after the RNC that people were predicting, like yourself, that Hogan was next to be taken out. So here, hold on, don't show my computer screen, but you have this guy, Gematria 33. Now you can show it. This is a guy, and he kind of breaks down. Gematria sees what they're doing to the Hulkster, speaking at the RNC, starts Hogan's sacrifice, okay? Captain America, blah, blah, blah. So you look at all these numbers, you have to kind of dive deep. And so these people were calling Hulk Hogan's death, before it happened. I know that sounds crazy, but I do feel like he could have been ritualistically sacrificed. There's a thing called the heart attack gun, Steve, where the CIA was actually declassified, where they can shoot a piece of ice into you, and the ice has a chemical that will cause you to have a heart attack, and that the ice is so thin that they don't even leave any residue that you're shot.
It's worse than that.
What is
I interviewed a 3-star general just in the last year about the directed energy weapon that has now been miniaturized to backpack size, created for our intelligence community and certain special ops groups. And what he told me is, he said, yes, it does exist. He said, with it, we can make you shit your pants and stop your heart.
Yeah, I've heard that too. They have see that's and Steve actually talked to the guy, but this is not a conspiracy when it talks to this direct energy weapons or this 5G. The technology originally started out as a crowd disbursement tool, and they've actually used it on American citizens in protests before that we didn't even know that they used it. And at light levels, it just makes you feel uncomfortable or like hot. But they can turn it up, or like you said, it could cause a heart attack, or it just makes you, like he said, shit your pants because you just feel so hot, you just lose control.
Yeah, the audio version of the weapon, it has 2 different settings. It's the super audible and the subaudible setting. If they switch it to subaudible, then you have no idea that it's affecting you and what effect it has on you. So, for instance, I'm just throwing this out there. So, like the first time in human history on January 6th, on the same side of the Capitol, on the west side, within a couple of hours each other, within 50 yards of each other, 3 people died of heart attacks and a cop of a stroke later that evening.
But not Roseanne Boylan. You're not talking about her. She did die of a heart attack, though.
She did die.
But you're counting her as a heart.
Well, she obviously had heart failure, regardless of what the cause was. But 2 other guys that weren't hit by any directed energy weapon, weren't hit by
anything physical,
any less than lethal weapons or anything we saw. They weren't banged on the head. They weren't even fighting with the cops. They just dropped dead. And in the history of the world, at any protest, nobody has there ever been recorded 3 heart attack deaths within 50 yards of one another in a couple hour time frame. I'm just saying.
That is very peculiar.
Also, there was a Trump rally where people were just fainting all over the place while he was playing music, and I also think that's part of this 5th generation warfare as well.
I know. I think you're right. That was crazy. I know when all those elderly people were falling out. So I know we haven't made everything that crystal clear for you guys, and that's why I want to encourage you to go follow Doenut. But Doenut, where does Epstein connect into this? Because I'm of the opinion right now,
Yes.
Hogan's dying, all these people are dying, and you see now, I can even pull it up, that aliens, Congress is about to release aliens. So I think they're going to do the fake alien invasion because they're so desperate. I mean, I know that sounds, like I said, it sounds very far-fetched, but these people are running out of ideas. So what do you think is going on? How does Epstein, is this all a smokescreen for us to not stop asking about Epstein anymore?
No, well, maybe, yeah. I think it's connected to the helical rising of Sirius. So this is an important day in the ancient times in Egypt. This is when the Nile flooded. This is how we could separate the 12-hour days. And I read this book on the nation's capital and the different symbolism in America. And it was saying that Albert Pike dedicated his astrology room to the date August 10th and the day centering upon it. Now, Jeffrey hung himself on August 10th, the helical rising of Sirius. Ghislaine Maxwell will be getting interviewed on August 11th in Reports, which is the helical rising of Sirius. This is super serious because the hieroglyph of Sirius is America in a lot of ways. The symbolic symbolism of Sirius, which is the Washington Monument, a Capitol dome, and a 5-star that we see on our flag. So I think it's all connected to that because even Hulk Hogan, his birthday lands on the helical rising of Sirius this year on August 11th. So
wait, time out. So you're telling me Jeffrey Epstein killed himself on August 10th, and then we've been waiting years and years, and potentially the day that we're going to get all the transparency, Ghislaine Maxwell in front of Congress, is on the 11th, which is still part of this ritual. And then all of this happens to be Hulk Hogan's birthday is August 11th. I mean, I know this is weird. It sounds crazy, but what the hell is going on? There's a lot of coincidences.
Well, you got the Tate ritual that went down with Charles Manson. That happened on August 10th. Or you even had the guy who was talking to his dog, arrested David Berkowitz, on August 10th as well. So we do got a lot of kind of criminal news that pops up on this date. And he was talking to a dog. It's the dog star, the ending of the dog days. And so I think that plays in part of it.
So that's why they call it the dog days of summer? Is that why? Because of Sirius?
Yes. So you might see the radio station called Sirius Radio.
And they have a dog as their logo.
It's a dog with a star on its side because it's the dog star of Sirius. It's the Sirius dog star.
Wow. So we look at these logos, we don't even know that there's always hidden symbolism and all this stuff. It's like the dollar bill. There's so much hidden symbolism in just a dollar bill that we don't really even know what it means. I mean, people like you do, but most people don't. So you think it's a smokescreen. There could be some ritual. What is the end game? They're like, how does this end? Because is Trump going to get... I love Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump, but I'm becoming... My confidence in Donald Trump has become very low with what's going on with this Epstein stuff. Is Trump going to get... I hope not. Is he going to be a sacrificial lamb in this? Or what part do you think Trump plays in this with the Epstein and all the weird coincidences?
Well, my gut tells me no. My gut tells me he has a Trump card, as lame as that sounds. You know, like it kind of sounds like a trust the plan thing, but it's not. That's just kind of what my gut is telling me. I think that he'll pull something crazy because the agenda moves on. Trump is just here now. The way that the elite or the secret societies plan operations is century-long goals. So they're planned it out for 100 years. And the big goal is the new human species that's being created, the new Homo sapien of technology and man for 2040. So I think that right now, everything is just leading us that with AI, information gathering, and whatnot. So my whole focus really right now is on the AI.
Well, you're right.
Hopefully I don't go into my ChatGPT psychosis, but
no.
I'm loving it.
And you can. And I like to use ChatGPT. I use Grok, and that's the one thing is where AI is bad for you because it doesn't use your amygdala. So there's people that have been doing Uber Eats for 10 years, and they've been doing it in the same city, but because they rely on the map so much. And this is normal people. They've been in a city driving every day on the same roads, and they don't even know where they're going without the thing because they haven't actually trained their brain to remember something. So that's where AI is going to make us stupider, going to rely on it. But when I think about the transhumanist agenda, it's very real, Steve. You see this where they want to put a computer into your brain. So if you have if your arm gets blown off, you could have an artificial limb and control it, which that sounds great. But then they want to use it in order to hook their brain up to a machine so they can live forever. So what do you think? Do you think that the transhumanist agenda is real, or do you think that's just some sort of a conspiracy?
I want to download my consciousness.
Do you want to live forever?
I want to upload it, rather, whatever the case may be. I want to upload my consciousness because I'm so curious about what's coming next. And so I want to at least be aware of what's happening in the future.
See, I don't know. I feel like I'd be like locked in a computer, and then it sounds like on paper it'd be cool because you can kind of see what's going on. But I feel like then you're in hell. You're stuck in hell because you don't get to go to heaven. I think.
I don't know.
Because you don't technically die. Because you don't technically die, so maybe your soul stays here. I don't know. I'm just saying there has to be. God did not intend to. And whether you believe in God or not, I'm just saying I think you do.
I haven't worked out the math yet.
I don't know. Something's weird with this transhumanist stuff. And then Elon posted his new Tesla diner, and then he posted some AI picture of like a robot eating with a child and a dog. That is the future that he is envisioning for all of us. And on top of that, I was just a very good friend, Tim Pool. He has a Cybertruck, very good guy. We've been on the show. Doenut, we got to get you on a show. He's like, Alex, I want you to drive the Cybertruck. It has self-driving. So we're doing the self-driving. No, I'm not even kidding. The speed limit is 45. It was going 11 over just on its own. I thought that was weird. And Tim's like, oh, well, I guess it's sensing traffic. It's driving. I'm like, so this thing is self-driving and it speeds. But my point is, I'm like, the whole time, if somebody just had a little joystick and hacked into it, they could run us right into a tree. So
but you can set the parameters on the self-driving of how far you will allow it to go over.
Oh, is that true?
Oh, absolutely. My daughter has one.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. Well, Tim has this set up where he's speeding. I'm like, Tim, I'm about to get it pulled over and get a speeding ticket. I'm not even driving the damn car. I was like trying to get it to slow down. I guess Tim was maybe playing a prank on me. Okay, Doenut. Now let's wrap things up in a neat little bow if we can. We see this. You kind of called it out. All of their ages add to 201. These people, they like to pee on us and tell us it's raining. So what should we be kind of looking for, trying to decode in the future? What can you warn us about on the upcoming horizon?
I would look out for the next ritual to go down August 10th or the day centering upon it, probably August 10th or 11th. And I think that just, God bless America, God bless all y'all, and everything gonna be okay. That's the biggest conspiracy that I'm really into, is that everything's gonna work out.
Well, yeah, I tend to believe, I actually agree. Even when things are bad, even when my mom died, I still had this kind of sense like everything is okay, like everything, like I'm still alive. I feel like even though everything's going around, everything was crashing, like I did feel this kind of sense of like, I'm okay, even though the world's bad, this is the worst thing's happening, everything's going to be okay. So I tend to agree that is a conspiracy, that the world actually is going to be fine. We're going to be able to live, whether you want to be paranoid about the future or whether you want to embrace the future, you kind of get to choose how you play in this video game of life. So I like that. I like that conspiracy. I agree with that conspiracy. What about you? What did you?
I just have two more questions for Doenut.
Go ahead, please.
First one is if we add Chuck Mangione's age into the number, that turns 201 into 285.
284.
What does that?
I think he was 83, right?
He was 84.
Oh, he's 84. Okay.
Yeah, so it turns it into 285. Does that change the calculus, the metrics, the conspiracy?
I will investigate that for you and give you an update.
Okay, that was the first question. My second question is, was your mother a female deer?
My mother was just a Jewish mother.
Wait, but because he's a donut,
Donut.
I know the daughter. Okay, listen.
Oh, Donut.
Yeah. Steve
She was just nice.
Steve is an investigative journalist and a very funny comedian. And okay, I know it sounds crazy. Steve's gonna think we're so crazy, but I can't wait to text Steve on August 10th when Ghislaine Maxwell secretly kills herself. I hope that doesn't happen. And something weird is going to happen on August 10th. How about that?
I'm staying up all night that night.
Do you need to get your gun? If you have ammunition, get it all in a room because you might need it on August 10th. That is when hopefully the world doesn't crash. Okay, that is actually the last thing. We're hearing about this financial stuff. Do you kind of predict or do you see any clues that there's going to be some sort of financial crash in the future?
Oh, that's interesting that you bring that up. Can you give me a little bit of what financial thing are you looking at? Because I am looking at a big ritual connected to bulls. Like all the ancient cults sacrificed a bull, and then you got bull markets and bulls. And the retiring of the bull was this ritual that went down in the ancient days, and it happened every 25 years for the Nile, for where like the helical rising flood. So I think that we can see something in the markets go down for sure, because if it's a 25-year ritual, that's when the .com crash happened. So I've been looking into the markets and the bull symbolism or whatnot. We'll see what happens. It could be a slow decline,
Yeah, but
I
Doenut, this is what I've been reading about, is how now they're going to try to this is what private equity is saying, these private bankers, is now that they want to use, and this is supposedly already got approved, and I don't know, I'm going to misquote this, but now private equity has reached out to Donald Trump, and it's supposedly been approved, where they're going to use our 401ks to invest as private equity. So we're going to use that to make money on itself, which sounds like it would be a good thing because the money can make interest, but at the same time, they could invest it incorrectly and lose all of our 401ks. So have you not heard this?
No, I stopped investing in 1999.
Well, and that's smart, unless you're in Dogecoin. I have a bunch of Dogecoin. But my point is, you got to look at this article. It's just there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and it's our money that's at play. So I think that financially things could get very hairy. I hope not. Maybe not for another couple of years or something. But I do have a feeling that something weird. And then, Steve, you go to McDonald's. McDonald's is $20 now.
It's insane.
I mean, so I just can't believe how expensive it is. All right, Doenut, tell the people before you go, where can they find you and how can they support you?
You can find me at Doenut. That's Doenut. Look it up on YouTube and hit that subscribe button and like the video and share it out. God bless you.
Wait, and before you go, last thing, actually pull up my computer. This is the thing I meant to show everybody. Is this an alien? Can you see my computer screen? Look at this. This is supposedly an alien. Can you see that very well, Steve?
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
They're saying that this is they found this on a doorbell camera. That's a little alien person right there. So Doenut, are they going to do the fake alien invasion? That's the last question. I'll send this to you too. Is a fake alien invasion coming?
I think it's going to be even worse than that. I think the alien invasion is already here. It's kind of deep, but everybody's microdosing, resetting their belief system through the autonomic nervous system. And then you got the governments telling everybody aliens exist, the big podcast and all that. I think that already happened, but it wasn't the way we thought it was going to happen. But I do think that the hologram technologies that were studied during the secret meeting of 100,000 people when we were creating the atomic, stuff in the Manhattan projects, I think there's a connection instead of the aliens, but it connected to the Manhattan projects and all of that with holograms instead of aliens.
And
so that's just what
Project Bluebeam, Steve. Did you know that they have technology right now that they could actually shoot an image in the sky? It would make it look like Jesus is coming back from the rapture.
I thought we were doing that with Batman already.
Well, not like this. It's going to look weird. They say they're going to make it look like Jesus comes back and everybody's going to freak out.
Just to fool everyone.
Just to fool everyone, yeah.
But what if they don't go up into the sky after they see the image?
I don't know. I don't know what their next. I'm just saying, if everybody sees Jesus come down from the sky, people are going to start freaking out. Especially my housekeeper. She's Catholic like a mofo, and I don't want to lose Juanita. She works so damn hard. All right, Doenut, I love you so much, dude. I mean that. No homo. You're my bro for life, dude. Anything I can ever do for you, don't hesitate to reach out. And I mean that, guys. You're going to get a much deeper, and I hope I encourage Steve to go watch some of your content. You're going to get a much deeper and more thorough explanation of these things when you go to Doenut, because he does a long stream. He streams for 24 hours sometimes. Wow. Some famous streams. So please, everybody go support Doenut. He's a friend of mine, and he's doing great work. All right, Doenut. Talk to you again soon. All right, guys. They thought we were just going to sit down and shut up, that we'd let them rewrite reality, cancel common sense, and run this country into the ground while we scroll TikTok and sip soy lattes. But guess what? They forgot one thing. I'm Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and I don't play by their rules. On Blaze TV, we're not just reacting to the madness. We're exposing it. We're naming names, trolling the tyrants, and laughing in the face of their propaganda. This isn't your grandpa's cable news. This is the front line of the culture war, unfiltered, uncensored, completely unhinged in the best possible way. Every weeknight, I bring the chaos directly to your screen. Politicians, media puppets, woke warriors, nobody is safe. If they're destroying the country, we're putting them on blast. And the best part, you can join the Primetime 99 Army for just 99 cents for your first 30 days. That's only 99 cents for your first 30 days for the realest, rawest, and most ridiculous political show on the internet. Go to blazetv.com/Alex, sign up, and show the elites they can't cancel what they can't control. This is how we win. Not by playing nice, not by staying quiet, but by speaking the truth, bringing receipts, and clowning the clowns one segment at a time. All right, guys, support the show. We're trying to get re-signed by the Blaze. We might not if not enough of you guys don't sign up. So hopefully they'll sign up. But, okay, Steve, now, we didn't get to talk to you much, and we're actually not going to talk to you that much right this second either, because we have to bring on a contest winner. We put out a contest, Steve, a 12-hour video of Alex Stein's, greatest moments, compilation. Mm-hmm. Jimmy loves these compilations. It's some of the best work that he does. I'm actually not kidding when I say that. In this, we hid 12 AOCs throughout this 12-hour thing.
I heard about that.
And we gave timestamps. And this guy, my buddy Jared, I call him J-Rod. Let's bring him on the show. J-Rod, come on down. He found every single big booty Latina AOC. Look at him. Look at the swag. Yeah. That's
awesome.
That's new. I like this dance move. That's new. So
that actually came from well, even though I hate the Eagles, it actually came from Cooper DeJean.
He's great. I wanted the Cowboys to draft him, a white cornerback. He's a badass. I love Cooper DeJean. Okay, Steve. So what do you think? Is he gonna cut my face off and eat my skin? If is he a super fan? Do you think he's crazy? I think he's a normal guy.
I met him about an hour ago, and you're still here.
Yeah, so I think we're okay. I think Jared's a good guy, and Jared's a sports writer. He writes about the Cowboys.
Wow, really?
Absolutely, yes. About the Cowboys, about Texas A&M, gig 'em, whoop, and then also about the Dallas Mavericks. I know you had a lot of Nico Harrison content.
Love the Mavs. Love the Mavs. Mad LeBron is not going to sign with him. He just he did his $52 million extension. I thought that was kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, only if the Lakers buy out that contract, but it's not.
He's not coming to Dallas. He's not going to happen. They're not going to get rid of him.
41 years old.
They need to keep him with Luka. So what is this? Oh, this is the 12 hours of the.
Yeah, so there's a couple screenshots of random AOCs. So yeah, that was 7/13/24. That was the day Trump got shot. He found that timestamp. So
yeah,
he commented all these numbers.
Every number meant something. So we had 9/11 was one. We had
great.
What was it? Hurricane Katrina, 8/29/05.
George Floyd,
D-Day, the 2016 election, Las Vegas Festival. So did you be honest with us right now? I'm not going to get mad. You're already on the show.
Sure.
Did you use ChatGPT? How did you figure this out? How did you figure it out?
No, I did not. No, actually, because I actually figured it out with a couple of. Actually, no, I'm going to say I started to figure out with the pattern of dates and historical events themselves. And I started to think, okay, because I knew 9 hours, 11 minutes, 1 second was
9/11,
yeah. Right? And then I looked up D-Day, and I'm like, okay, I did 6/04/44, and then with Hurricane Katrina, I did, I think it was August of something of 05. And so I started to like piece those three things out together, and I was like, okay, well, I'm starting to get kind of the hang of this, but basically, if I hadn't gone out it was like a couple of Thursday night, Friday night, whatever, I was just kind of like in my bed looking at your 12-hour video.
I do it too. You don't have to be ashamed. We all look at our YouTube videos.
No shame. No
so you're looking at it, and you're like, fuck, I'm going to crack the code. Because so you like the challenge? Is that why?
Yeah, I think it's because like I got so deep invested into it. I'm like, okay, well, I saw Jimmy's daughter with Roseanne Barr, and I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm watching this whole interview. And you could also, honestly, I'm going to thank you, I'm going to thank AOC, I'm going to thank Jimmy and his daughter for all that, because I think it was starting there where I was like, okay, I'm going to actually do this. And I was like maybe 11, I had 11 more hours to go, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually going to crack this code. And I'm going to do it.
We love you, Jared. Give a round of applause. And then we actually had a controversy. Is the other guest on, the other contest winner?
No, we told him. He's not coming back to like 6:45.
Okay, we'll get him on at the end. Okay, but now I want to ask Steve some questions. So thank you, J-Rod. You're going to stay on the show. So, okay, I got to ask you now. This is a serious question, Steve, and I really appreciate you coming on. You've done a lot of work on Cory Mills, and I've seen Cory Mills, and I've read a lot of your coverage about it. Yeah. I'm still confused though. He sells guns. That's kind of hairy. He owes like $84,000 or something in like unpaid rent. But, you know, what else has he done, though? Seriously, what has he done? Because I've read it. He had like a Muslim wife or something. What? I mean, you know, like what? I guess I've read it all, and I'm still kind of confused. What has he done that's so bad? And I'm just saying that because I don't know.
Right. Well, the things that he's done that's really bad haven't even been revealed yet.
Okay.
Now, we're actually working with some other journalists. We're not the only publication that is working on this story, and obviously we're not going to take somebody else's information that they've already uncovered in their investigations. There's a couple of kill shots coming, I will tell you, that are not good.
Wow.
For Cory Mills. What we have revealed in our series of stories so far is the fact that he has associates, many of them, in fact 5, who have come forward with us on the record that says that he converted to Islam back in 2014.
But then now he's saying that he married, like what, because that is a weird thing about the Islam thing, because that he married somebody, had an Islamic ceremony, but then he's now saying he's Christian or something? It's
Yeah,
like,
well, he claims to have been a lifelong Catholic. And then in an interview with our own Blaze reporter, Peter Giedel, it was a 50-plus minute interview on the record, on the telephone. We have the tape, where he actually claimed to now be a member of a church in Orlando called Word of Faith, and he named the pastors. It was Cheryl and Steve Ingram. Okay. And this is one of those charismatic evangelical churches.
Preacher, a prophet, preacher.
Right. Yeah. And he says that is his home church, and they are his pastors. Well, so I went to the church, and I interviewed them, and it's not true.
Time out. So you went to the church, and they're like, we don't even. Cory Mills is not.
No, they know him.
Of course they know him because he's a famous guy. I'm sure he wouldn't have used their name if he probably hadn't interacted.
He's in their district, and
but he doesn't actually go there every.
He's attended their church twice in 5 years that they've known him.
Why is he hiding his religion, though? Why is this, like, what is he just trying to gain favor with his constituents? Like, why not?
The worst part about his story, whether we're talking about his religion or anything else, he can't keep the story straight. Mm-hmm. So just in the last few days...
I'm out, though, but it doesn't every politician lie. And once again, I'm not trying to take a side. I'm more devil's advocate, though.
Some of them are good liars.
That's true.
He's not.
Okay. Keep
you know, you're a good liar if you can track your deceit. Mm-hmm. And keep up with it.
There's a huge difference, yeah, because there's some people that are just so they can lie and they can just keep it going. They can do that dual life. So you're saying Cory Mills is a liar and he's not even a good liar?
No, he's not a good liar. He goes online all the time. He'll go on X and respond to people's X posts, particularly since we started our series of stories, and in trying to defend himself, contradict what we've written, call us bad names or whatever, he'll tell another lie, and then we'll write another story about the brand new lie he told, because we have so many receipts about it. I just did it today. So I walked into the Blaze building this morning, had nothing on my agenda whatsoever, and my editor-in-chief, Matt Peterson, commissioned me to do a Twitter thread on Cory's latest lie online.
But when it comes to Cory Mills and it comes to the lying, and I know you can't, you know, obviously I want to wait till you get this kill shot, though. Is Cory Mills, in your opinion, is he... this is the other thing, is like he's Republican, we're just going to follow whatever he says. I think that we should hold them to a higher standard. So the fact that he's conservative and Republican doesn't mean that he's off limits. But is he actually doing something bad? Is he really doing something worse than AOC? Because my boy George Santos, love George Santos, you know, no Diddy like that. I think he got railroaded like crazy, in my personal opinion.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, to be that. But I'm saying, why does George Santos get screwed, but Cory Mills doesn't?
Well, Cory Mills has better friends, more powerful friends. Cory Mills has been able to build an aura about himself as being Captain America, because he's gone out and he's rescued people from Afghanistan. He's rescued people from Haiti, from Israel. He rescued one of our Blaze staff members. He rescued her husband.
He did, her husband. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Out of Israel.
So he has done some good stuff that's given him some goodwill.
Yeah, and some of those rescues may have been staged.
Yeah, I'm sure. Come on, you know, they fly over there. Oh, we rescued all. I'm not saying they're all staged.
No, they're not. They're not.
A lot of them are photo ops, believe it or not.
But that's one of the stories I can't get into yet. But when you say what has he done, and why has he not been in trouble, I'll just lay it out here for you right now.
Please.
I think he may, in fact, be the most corrupt congressman in the history of the republic.
Wow.
And that's only after 2.5 years as a congressman. Okay. And
he sells guns, guys. So, you know, I'm just saying that is kind of weird. Not as bad to sell guns, but that is, you know, that's a business where you have to deal with kind of, you know, sketchy people, you know.
He might be a Manchurian congressman. if you catch my drift.
See, we were just talking about crazy conspiracies, and now you're coming up with one. Now,
Well, no, I'm just keeping with the
yeah, the
thread
theme,
of the
yeah,
show.
please.
Right.
But a lot of people think the Manchurian Candidate thing is so crazy, but actually the MK Ultra testings that they did starting in the 40s and the 50s, the CIA, once they got exposed, actually burned this information. But they did tests where they could actually basically convince a person through hypnosis and drugs and whatever techniques that they have into being their, patsy, their person that could go do something like this. So you're not saying that sarcastically. You think that he could be part of some government operation where he is being basically puppet mastered to do this stuff? You really think that?
Well, look, if you go back and look at my first big story on this, I was not first in on the Cory Mills thing. In fact, when the Blaze editors brought this to me and put this in my lap, I didn't want it. I was not interested in it. It was no big deal to me. And then the more and more and more I started looking at it, and then I found out that there was this rogue FBI agent out of Florida that was investigating our sources on the story. And then all of a sudden, my radar pinged, and I was all in at that point because I knew something else was up. And skipping over that, as always, just go to theblaze.com, look up Cory Mills, search it, and all of our stories will come up, or under my name. And the bottom line is that he does sell weapons internationally, okay? He has a company. Now, right now he's a congressman, so his interests are held in a blind trust. Yeah, of course. He's gone to the Middle East 3 or 4 times this year already.
He doesn't do any business when he's there, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. Not official. He's flying privately. Blah blah blah. And then on top of that, you don't get. And this is true. All right. So if I am sourced within the government among any group, to the greatest extent, it would be within our intelligence community. Okay,
that's where you're most connected.
And because of that, I know that you are not selling ammunitions and weapons in any of those Middle Eastern countries without the actual consent, at the very least, of the CIA, if not being used by the CIA in the process.
It sounds crazy, but I think that there's a lot of weird, kind of unanswered questions. One of the ones that I think is very weird is that he had over $80,000 in unpaid rent. That doesn't make sense to me. How does that not get him in? And I'm sure he has the money to pay. Or I'm sure he has $84,000. Like, it wasn't a financial reason for him not to pay, right?
Well, actually, there is. He's probably about $60 million in debt. And he has multiple business interests, corporations scattered all over the world, and I think the 60 million is a fairly accurate assessment at this point from what we've been able to learn, and that the biggest problem he has right now is how he's transferring money over to pay his debts in the United States. His $21,000 penthouse apartment in D.C. Okay. That's $20,000,
which is ridiculous, guys. I mean,
$21,000 a month, not a year. Is $12,000 home beachfront property in Florida, where his home district is. Not to mention a couple of other little places he has.
I mean, when you're spending that much money, guys, I mean, you're spending $250,000.
$350,000 a year just in rental on 2 properties, and he makes $174,000 a year as a congressman. Okay, so the biggest problem he has right now is bringing funds back into the country in a legal and not so obvious way so as to pay those bills. But he's been having problem with this rent down in D.C. for a year and a half. I mean, he's
not still at that place, though, right?
Oh yeah, he has not been evicted yet. But but the property management did file a suit of eviction in the D.C. Superior Court. We have the document. I mean, this is not a partisan hack job. These are court documents. They're available to anybody. You can go look them up. But he was not only $85,000 in debt, but he had paid tens of thousands of dollars in late fees over the last year and a half. He's been late like 18 times. Crazy numbers.
Yeah, that is weird because I mean, I'm not a wealthy guy by any means, but I hate having a debt or not, your apartment. It just seems like that would be his first priority, is paying that bill. You know what I mean? And things like his credit card bill or some other bills he might not pay. But I don't know how tenants and landlords, maybe he feels like he's protected. Maybe D.C. does some crazy thing where they don't kick him out. Maybe they have squatters.
Well, I mean, first of all, in D.C., you're right, in a very, very leftist city like like DC.
He's going to have more rights.
The tenants' rights are very much more, they're stronger than the landlord's rights. But as we always like to say, the cover-up is worse than the crime itself.
Always,
And now
literally.
he's gotten into telling this tall tale about how he couldn't sign into the payment portal, that he was just getting
That, when he said that, you guys wrote that, I was like, what a fucking liar. She's my friend, but I'm like, you couldn't that's why you couldn't pay? You couldn't log into the portal? I mean, come on.
I called it the dog ate my homework excuse, and
there you go.
and it wasn't like he couldn't walk down the hallway to the apartment, office and write him a check or give him a money order or whatever. But here's the thing: every property management company in the country laughed their asses off when he gave this excuse, because once they start the process, the actual proceeding of filing for eviction, they turn off electronic payment
Can't even
portals.
go into the portal anyway.
Right. Because he owes $85,000 in back rent. If he goes into the payment portal and even just pays $1,000, and they accept the payment, and the payment portal would be legal acceptance if it was available to him, then it resets the calendar on the eviction process.
Oh, wow. So that's why they lock you out of it.
That's why they lock you out of it.
That's why he got locked out. He's like, oh, I can't log in. Well, they locked you out because you're getting evicted. So I don't know. I'd like to see more information. I hate to see, listen, whether you guys like Cory Mills or not, I don't like any politician that is, basically doing something a subversive to the American people, to his constituents. So I think we should hold them all accountable the same, whether they're AOC or they're Dan Crenshaw. But I would really like to see you guys go after Dan Crenshaw. I don't know. I mean,
well, you know what? The way I answer this whole thing, there's 535 of those bastards and biatches up there. Who's next?
who is next? And they all have skeletons in their closet, because almost every human being, as an adult, at some point, you have some sort of skeletons in your closet. But
Alex, we got a super chat from
please.
Tony Hay Munkett. Says, not that you were fat, but you look thinner.
I've lost weight. Thank you, Tony. I've lost about 35 pounds. I was a little fat.
Here you go, Tony.
Tony, that's a great super chatter. Thank you to all the super chats. Oh, guys, and also, I'm going to be doing a college tour. You guys only put 2 or 3 cities on last night's episode. If you guys want me to come to a city or college near you, please put the cities that you are in the chat, because obviously when you look up, the geography, the demographics of where we are, we're obviously big in Dallas, LA, and New York. Those are our 3 biggest. And then randomly, we're big in Australia. My point is, and I'm going to be making a trip out to Down Under very soon, but my point is, I want to come to places that I wouldn't normally go. So please put the city that you live in, and we're going to see if we can actually make a trip out to somewhere near. So you can come debate the world's greatest college debater, Kurt, excuse me. I don't even know my own joke anymore. Okay, now also, you've done some good work. Oh, do we have the contest winner? Is that where you're in my ear? Let's bring him in. Now, this is the second contest winner. Steve, we actually had a controversy. 2 guys. Oh, look at this guy. He's at Epstein Island. And
Look at him. Oh, my God.
Utah Flasco is in the building, but he's at Little St. James Island. I'm a little worried. What are you doing at that island?
I got some technical issues. Sorry, but I just wanted to say thank you right away for, I was the contest winner, and I appreciate you giving me the virgin notification. This has been amazing. I'm a musician. I'm a starving artist. I don't get to travel a lot. I appreciate you giving me this trip. This is my first time on a tropical vacation. It's amazing.
And to be fair, if they weren't diddling kids there, Little St. James Island was a nice place. I mean, other than the diddling of the kids, the food is nice, agriculture. Yeah, the weather is beautiful. It's a good place. So, Utah, you are an artist. You're a musician. I encourage everybody to go follow J-Rod and my boy Utah. We're going to put links to your social media. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and how did you crack the code? Because Jared over here is crazy and said that he watched the whole thing. Please tell me you used ChatGPT or so you reverse psychology. What did you do? How did you crack the code?
Alex, I'm having some technical difficulties, but I want to thank you so much for giving me this vacation. I got here. It was a weird trip. I was expecting a direct flight, but you guys gave me a ticket to a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I took the Disney cruise. They woke me up in the middle of the night. I got on a small little boat. It was just me and this old tech guy and his 4 daughters. And they took us over to this island. And I've been having a blast here. I've been hanging out with him. I got into my room. I got your gift basket, so thank you so much. But there was some kind of mix-up because it was just 20 bottles of baby oil. I don't know.
Yeah, baby
I
oil.
think it's a mistake. It's a mistake, obviously.
Baby oil is a good place, but if you see anybody with an egg-shaped penis, run. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
Just run away.
There it is.
All right, I don't know if Utah can hear us that well, but Utah, we're gonna have you back. We're having a little audio trouble, but we want to dive deeper. We got to get into some more investigative journalists. But you guys both actually entered the contest, and who emailed me first, Utah or J Rod?
So Jared emailed you first, but Utah technically followed the
Utah
rules because he
followed the
commented.
rules, yeah. So Utah, send us your address. We're going to send you a little care package for winning as well, and we really appreciate you. I mean that, and we're going to get you set up when the Wi-Fi is a little better when you're gone from the island. So please do not follow the guy with the egg-shaped penis.
Yeah,
Turn and run.
Can you guys not hear me?
It's all befuddled a little bit. I mean, have you been?
True. Maybe hold on. Let me.
No, now he's gone. Okay, now he's gone.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Utah, my guy, what's going on?
Yes, can you hear us?
All right, so hey, I just got here today, and I ran into
Yes,
a guy.
yeah, we've heard this already. Yes, it's the third time. We get the joke. You're at Epstein Island, Utah. I love you. Now, real quick, plug your music.
There's a weird temple behind me.
Okay,
I see.
okay. We love Utah. Utah, we got to go. We can't keep on promoting Jeffrey Epstein. Kick Utah off. I love Utah. Yeah, send him a care package. Yeah, we love Utah. I love that guy. We can only be talking to people at Jeffrey Epstein's island so much. Look what he did to Trump. Now the damn guy won't release Epstein files. All he did was go to the island to have a little Caribbean fun, and next thing you know, he's all of a sudden a pederast. Okay, we only have a few minutes left, though. What the hell is going on with the governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper?
Well, the former governor.
Governor.
Right, he served his 8 years, termed out, and now he's announced that he's going to run for Senate, I assume for Tom Tillis's position. He announced he was not running again. And, I have a little background, a little history.
I know you do. I know you do. So are you going to expose him? Because I think he would have a good chance of winning, right?
Well, he effectively changed the direction of my life, my career, from the full-time in the music business, being a part-time journalist, to a full-time, because the government weaponized themselves against, or weaponized me against them back at the beginning of the coronavirus. And he was my governor, and he had one of the toughest lockdowns in the country.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that is that Governor Cooper and my daughter, my daughter and his daughter were roommates in college at UNC.
Actual roommates?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So you're definitely connected.
They were best friends in high school. They applied to be roommates in college together. So, Cooper, when he was Attorney General of North Carolina, he was moving his daughter into the dorms at the same time I was moving in. We would run into each other at the high school events, that sort of thing. And then he became governor, and my band actually was the headlining entertainment at the governor's inaugural ball. I actually played the first dance for the governor and the state first lady.
What song was it?
Oh God, it was. Oh gosh, I don't remember, but there's video.
Okay.
We should have brought. I should have
brought the video, but
but there's video. There's video of it, and then, my daughter, she used to really get aggravated because back then I was, I had a blog and I had a pretty big, following, and she would get mad when I would write.
Is this during the pandemic or before the pandemic?
Before the pandemic.
Okay, before the pandemic.
So I tried, because of my daughter's relationship with his daughter. I would hold my fire a little bit. I'd be critical but not mean. And then when 2 weeks to flatten the curve turned into 2 months, and then I knew they weren't going to let me work because I'm a musician. I was making my living playing music, and I wasn't allowed to work. I was a what do they call it? I was a non-essential person.
Yeah.
They deplatformed my life at the stroke of a pen, and then he would go into all this performative theatrics of his doing their 3 o'clock press conference every day on television to update us, and they would get caught sometimes not wearing their mask off camera and then putting them on as they walked to the podium,
course, yeah.
and then they would remove them when they got to the podium, and those kinds of things. So I started writing a whole series about this, referring to him as the Corona Obergruppenführer Cooper.
Almost like a Gavin Newsom kind of.
Yeah, he was.
Oh no, he was all in that regard. In some ways worse, but yeah. So now that he's, all rules were off when the Corona came to town.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I was done, and I'm sorry. I told my daughter, sorry,
Yeah, F
Can't do
this
it.
guy. I know you're friends with him, but I mean, it's going to be maybe a little awkward. But, and I look at North Carolina, such a great state. I'm actually supposed to be speaking at UNC Wilmington, and they said UNC Wilmington's beautiful. The Turning Point was gassing me up. They're like, you're going to love UNC Wilmington. You get to go on a trip to the beach. Is UNC Wilmington that nice?
The beaches are great.
That's what I've heard.
The campus is no big deal.
Well, I mean, it's not the biggest school in North Carolina. There's a lot of great schools in that state.
Yeah, I mean, UNC Chapel Hill's campus is.
I've been there. It's one of the most beautiful, but also Wake Forest. I mean, there's a lot of, really good schools in that area, obviously. So, yeah, I guess UNC, maybe their education is not as prestigious, but it's on the beach. That'd be kind of fun to go to school on the beach.
It is, and the beaches there are really great.
All right. Well, real quick though. Now, let me tell you something, Jared. My producer, Jimmy. Do you like Jimmy, or because you said you liked him? I was like, you must be smoking weed. You like Jimmy?
I mean, if that's what I'm doing, I guess that's what I'm doing.
Well, this
But
is
yeah,
what
I love Jimmy.
Jimmy's been in my ear for the past 30 minutes. He's like, please put this laser. Jimmy bought this laser. Look at this.
Just saw that lower third.
Wait. Look at this laser. I don't even know how to work it, Jimmy. Oh, this is the laser.
Oh, that
You
is?
see? Can you see it? Does it look like there's? You might have to zoom in. It's a penis laser. Is this? I mean, you can't
That's
really
what
see.
that is?
Yeah, it's so stupid. Jimmy stole this idea from who? Where did you see this, Jimmy?
It was a targeted ad on Instagram.
Yeah, but somebody was just using this in a podcast. I mean, why, Jimmy? Isn't that a little homosexual for me to put a penis on our guest? Doesn't that seem a little?
No.
But it's funny.
Can you see it? Maybe if it's right there. Can you guys see it?
Oh, I can see it. Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can zoom in.
Okay, there you go.
It's a penis laser. I don't know.
That's what that is.
Hey, can you zoom into it? I don't know. You can't really see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Kinda. You can kind of see it.
you can definitely make it out there. Yeah.
Jimmy, this is ridiculous. Getting this penis laser. I would never do that to you, Jared, because I know you are a badass. And
I
so
appreciate that, man. No, but apparently the lower third, they set up the lower third to say, there it is, right there. You see it?
Yeah.
Potentially gay, but into transgender.
yeah, why
so.
would you say that too? Why? He's not into transgenders, Jimmy. What? I don't understand.
Oh, I did some research.
I know, but this
Oh,
is.
did he now?
This is what confuses me, Jimmy, is that this guy loves the show, watched 12 hours of the damn show. He got to make it on set, and now you're going to say he's into transgenders. Jimmy, I didn't approve that. I don't know. Maybe, no offense to you, Steve. I could see maybe, and I wouldn't call you say you're into transgenders, but it would make more sense if we kind of teased you a little bit than if we teased their guests, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We teased each other enough today. Okay.
We're a great sport. We're all great sports here.
And he's not into transgenders. He likes.
There you go.
Are you? Was Jimmy right?
No, he was about negative 1,000% right.
Thank God. Thank you. Okay, and before you go, actually,
Anything.
take a hit of that. You got to take a hit of the smelling salts to wake
There
you
you
up.
go.
Get a little hit of
All
that. And you actually had some of this fine Flying Ace
Absolutely.
whiskey. How would you rate this whiskey?
Oh, out of 10, I'd say 25.
Damn, guys, that is a good
Absolutely.
endorsement. Go to flyingacespirits.com. Use the promo code BLAZE for free shipping. Steve, before we end the show, how can people find you and support you? We've talked about the great Cory Mills information that's going to come out. You're going to be, exposing Roy Cooper on his race to the Senate. What else should we be looking forward to, and how can people find you?
Well, we're still continuing. January 6th is not over.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about
No,
January
there's a
6th.
there's a lot of meat left on that bone, and there's a new committee just announced yesterday.
And real quick though, is this committee though? Because like I said about my confidence level, are you confident that this committee is going to be ran right and it's not going to be some boondoggle?
Oh, look, I have incredible confidence in Barry Loudermilk, but that doesn't mean he will be without limitations and he won't have a short leash on him.
Because they're going to be stopping at whatever they can do to stop this.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the people stopping him are other GOP congressmen.
Exactly right.
That's the problem. And we'll be writing a lot about that as we go. We already have. We'll be talking a lot more about that. But this time, he does have the confidence and the support of the president. But more importantly, is that Tulsi Gabbard's ODNI has a special group called The Dig. You've probably heard about it. They released a couple of big things in the last week.
Already,
The
lots
Dig,
of
which
stuff.
is the directors.
Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton is on pills, which you kind of already knew, but go ahead, yeah.
The Directors Initiative Group, which is part of a special group out of ODNI, are now joining forces with that committee to make sure that this stuff gets out there. So we may be able to get a lot of documents classified or declassified by Tulsi that we couldn't get otherwise.
Well, if you could just, give us clear transparency, what are we going to see that the fact that they had police officers in street clothes. I mean, that we're going to have FBI people that were antagonizing and kind of is that the big smoking gun, or what is the smoking gun in all of this?
The smoking gun, from my perspective, and again, I've stated this opinion live on air and on other programs, and I believe that we're going to find out that the DOD was probably the prime culprit. But we've also have a connection to Nancy Pelosi's office. Did a big story a few months ago. In fact, I think so far it's the biggest story in the Blaze of the year was when we revealed who Nancy Pelosi's fixer is, Aaron Black.
Oh, and then on top of that, though, all the conspiracies surrounding that her daughter was filming a documentary that day.
She was.
Which is
she was
very peculiar, and we all knew something was going to happen on January 6th. Like there was a lot leading up to that. This was going to be a monumental day or whatever. But I just feel like it was hijacked by bad actors, and that this was personally, I think this was basically a false flag attack. You basically attacked yourself, and really the only people that other than Roseanne Boylan died. I know there's a cop that had a heart attack, and we found some information. Could they have used a drug energy weapon? I don't know. We're going to dive deeper into that by following Steve, but. I know that Roseanne Boylan did not deserve to die, and I know that the people that died there were American patriots. Who was a white Michael Cameron got shot? Actually, not a traffic, obviously a vet. Actually, that is great. I mean, she was shot, didn't need to be shot. So I feel like it's obvious the people that actually got her died were people that were there because they love the country. So.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And you're exactly right.
Everything.
Assassination. They do it with everything, and they try to do it with everything, and that's what we're up against here. But that is, I think right now, okay, I don't trust the FBI at all.
Nope.
I don't trust current leadership of the FBI right now at all. There's no reason to trust the CIA.
No, never.
All. And but we have some people that are very talented that are going to be able to pull the documents, pull the comms from these intelligence agencies, and we may be able to get a peek for the first time at what was really happening in the lead up to January 6th, but also, and I think even more importantly, the aftermath, which resulted in the weaponization of our agencies against normal people.
This is big information. I can't wait to get transparency, guys. Everybody needs to go follow Steve. But it made me think of recently my dad's been, he's been having heart issues, and I feel bad. I need to apologize to my dad. He actually hired a personal chef, and I was talking to this chef. It was a black lady, a nice black lady. I'm just saying, and I was very surprised. She was talking about how she's from the CIA, like literally that's what she said. And I was like, okay, I don't believe this. That's all she says. I talked to my dad. I'm like, Dad, this woman said she's from the CIA. You need to let her go. My dad's like, no, she's nice. I'm like, Dad, she said she's from the CIA. Like, we need to fire her. I don't want some CIA woman cooking. You're my neighbor. I don't want this. Come to find out, she went to the Culinary Institute of America.
I was a step ahead of you on that one. Yep.
I had to write her a big apology. So I'm sorry to that. But you can get that mixed up. It actually happens more often than you think. All right, Jared, J-Rod, before we go, how can people find you and support you?
Absolutely, yeah. You can find me a real J998 on IG. Find me on Twitter, on X, whatever you may call it. And there you go. Superfan might have chlamydia. There you go.
No, why would you say he does not have chlamydia?
You don't know that it might have
yes,
chlamydia.
I know that he doesn't have chlamydia. I can smell it, dude. I have a nose for this stuff. I'm like a dog. I'm like a drug-sniffing dog with STDs. All right, guys, that's been our show. Thank you for watching this week. Next week, who are some of the big guests? Don't we have some big guests on?
We have Dan Holloway Thursday.
Dan Holloway and potentially Myron Gaines, right?
Yeah, and then Michelle Backus from Real America's Voice.
Oh, we love that, Rav. And then this weekend, I'll be doing a live debate with Tim Pool, Gavin McInnes, and Matan Evan in D.C. Make sure to get tickets at timcastevents.com. I want to see you guys there. And if you bought a ticket and they canceled your ticket, you actually get in free. So if you want a little word to the wise, show up if you can't afford a ticket and say that you originally bought a ticket and the club is letting you in. They're eating the cost for canceling that. So that's a little hack to get in for free this weekend if you're broke in the D.C. area. And don't tell them I told you that. But, guys, we end the show the same way every time with the freestyle finale. So, DJ, hit that beat. Oh, we got something slow for Steve Baker. Steve Baker sitting on the couch. If you're a politician who'll make you say ouch when he exposes your little ass for not paying money and spending that cash on your rent, you are spent. I don't give a damn because I'm heaven sent. I am a pimp on no blimp. Sitting with my man, J-Rod, acting like a freak, like he's God, but he ain't. No, I can't ever stop rapping. You know I like to do it every day. Our guest isn't actually gay. Jimmy, you're fired. I love you. Peace. Good night.